All right, so this is one more question, and the question says that explain what is meant by the center of gravity of an object. So, center of gravity of an object is a point where all the mass, all the weight of the object appears to act. All right, so center of gravity is the point where all the force, all the weight of the body appears to act or may be considered to act. May be considered to act. All right. Write an equation to represent, okay, then it says a flagpole of 25 kg is held in a horizontal position. Mass 25 kg held in a horizontal position by a cable as shown in the diagram. Center of gravity of the flagpole is 1.5 meter. Center of gravity, that's this, is 1.5 meters from fixed end. Where's the fixed end? This one, right? Write an equation to represent taking moments about the left hand end of the flagpole. Use your equation to find tension T in the cable. So you need to write an equation taking moments about left hand end of the flagpole. About left hand end of the flagpole. So left hand end is this point, right? So you need to take moments about this point. Now the point where all the equation would be what? The equation would be that anti-clockwise moments is equals to clockwise moments. Sum of anti-clockwise moments is equals to sum of clockwise moments, right? Okay, sum of okay, sum of. So now anti-clockwise moments, if this is the fixed end, then this is one force weight that's acting. I'll label them. Let's say this is F1 and its corresponding distance is D1. And then there's this tension acting on the far end of the flagpole, but you see that this tension is not perpendicular to the distance from the pivot. So that means we'll resolve this, and when we resolve this, this would become the vertical component and this would become the horizontal component. Now the vertical component is how much? The vertical component is T sine 30. Why? Because we know that the horizontal component, the component along the angle, is always cos. So this is T cos theta, that's T cos 30. That means the other one would be T sine 30. Now what we need to do, we need to take moments to find tension in the cable. Now when we take moments, one moment is T sine 30, that's causing this to turn which direction? Anti-clockwise. And the other moment is weight will cause it to turn in clockwise direction. Now this T sine 30, I'll consider that as F2, and the distance from the pivot for that is 2.5 meters. That's D2. So I'll plug in the values. Clockwise is caused by F1 and D1. So F1 into D1 is equals to F2 into D2. This is the equation. And then you need to find T. So we'll go solving this. F1 would become weight, which is given as 25. Mass is given to you, right? So mass is weight and weight is mg. It would become mg into d1 is equals to f2. F2 is what? T sine 30. T sine 30 into d2. What is d2? d2 is 2.5 meters. 2.5 meters. Solving this, m is 25, g is 9.81, and d1 is 1.5. d1 is 1.5, right? And that would become T sine 30 into 2.5 t sine 30 into 2.5. Solving this further, for t, it would become 25 into 9.81 into 1.5, all that divided by sine 30 into 2.5. Putting this value in the calculator as it is will result in t, and t will be something about 290 newtons. 290 newtons. T is equals to 290 newtons. Now this is the tension. This is the tension in the string. This is the value of the tension. All right. The next part, B part 2. This was B part 1. So what is B part 2? B part 2. Determine the vertical component of the force at the left hand end of the flagpole. So left hand end of the flagpole is this one, and we need to find what would be this force, right? What would be the component of this force? Again, since it's in equilibrium, that means upward forces are equal to downward forces. Upward forces are equal to downward forces. So the total upward forces acting are, number 1, this t sine 30, number 2, this F. This is the total upward force acting, and the only downward force acting is this weight F1. So that means I'll just make an equation which says F plus t sine 30, and what is t right now? It's 290. So F plus 290 into sine 30 is equals to the weight, which is what? 25 into 9.81. 25 into 9.81, right? So I'll simply calculate for F. F is equals to 25 into 9.81. 25 into 9.81 minus 290 into sine 30. Putting this in calculator as it is will lead you to a value of 98 newtons. So 98 newtons is the upward force.